But yeah, I was thinking about picking him in the draft, and I passed on him. I should have just picked him up.
And we are live. Go.
What's up, people?
Hello. Jace is in the house.
It's good, people. Was good, man. Finally off the slide, I got my first victory, man. Like, yes. I was hoping for last week to get it, but it didn't work out, man.
Hey, you just got to blame Instagram for that.
Justin Herbert and the Chargers. That game, what a disaster that game was last week. Boy,
have you looked at our standings though? It's like we're only separated by like 2 or 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody.
And 90 got his first loss this week.
Yeah.
I should have beat him last week, doggone it.
I'm looking at that, man. It's like, his team is just loaded, though.
Mm-hmm.
And he had like the 10th. I forget, he had like a low pick, and he got all the good players.
The Steve won with his superstar quarterback on the bench.
Yeah.
He had his bye week.
Who was his quarterback? Was it Hurts?
No,
he had.
Oh, okay.
Wait, who has Josh Allen?
See.
Oh yeah, that's right. He called. He hit me in the text on Sunday morning. Or like in the afternoon. He was like, "Man, you got to put somebody in for your tight end." I was like, "I don't want to drop somebody." You know what I mean? And then I was like, whatever. So I just picked him up Freiermuth, and I was just like, "Well, I'll just keep him just in case."
Yeah, I dropped him a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I picked him up, and he had like 15 points.
Yeah. Kittle finally had a big game.
Who?
Mm-hmm. Kittle.
Who's that, Jace?
Yeah.
George Kittle. He finally had a big game for me.
Yeah, I was telling Remo in my other league, he was just on waivers. I was like, okay, I'll just give him to me.
Yeah. He's due for a big game. They all are. I mean, their defense is going to be pretty banged up for the next few foreseeable future, so they're going to have to score a lot of points. Like they're going to have to. There's no way around it. Like half of their team is on the IR.
Yeah, they were talking about that during the game this week. They're like, just
as
they're getting healthier. I mean, getting McCaffrey on that team.
Yeah, get McCaffrey, but they got to block for him. They got to get Trent Williams got to get healthy, man. He keeps getting.
He can't come back and get hurt again.
Yeah, McClinchy's hurt. I mean, they can get their line right, they'll be good. Like that's part of the reason why Trey Lance got a broken leg because they were all hurt and they kept letting people get through. So
right now, will you say that the Seahawks are the best team in the NFC West?
They are.
Geno Smith been playing good, man. Like, I'm looking at Geno knowing he got more touchdown passes than Tom Brady. Right, man. Geno Smith.
I mean, Geno Smith. And the way he's playing, I was watching it at the end of the game because they let us see the end of the game before. I think who was playing. I forget who it was, but they cut to them because the game was over. It might have been the Niners, but they showed the end of the Seahawks game, and I was watching like the last 2 or 3 minutes, and he looked good, man. He didn't look like the same guy that was in New York. That's for sure.
Well, the Jets.
Yeah, he definitely didn't look like that Geno Smith.
How long he been with Seattle for a while, right?
He's been there for at least 4 years. He was backing up Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Because when I watched him, I was just thinking he looks so much. I mean, I know he's a lot older now than he was back then, but he just looks in control. It was the first game when they played Denver.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was like, he looked like he's in control of the system, and the old it's not too big a moment for him. I mean, because he's used to it.
I mean, the Jets was just a different. That's a beast for him, for anybody. You look at the kids they got now. It's like all that scrutiny. The team sucks. You don't really have anybody around you. The coaching staffs are pretty much they're coaching for their next job. You know what I mean? Like it's always a bad situation for a Jet. You know what I mean? So I don't hold that against him. And he was good in college. I always thought he was good. I just figured like this coach actually believes in him. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. You just need somebody to have your back. You know what I mean? Not let you fail. I mean, if they want you to fail, they're not gonna do anything. You know, look at Tennessee. That kid came in after what's his name? What's the quarterback there? In Tennessee. No, the other guy.
So Tannehill?
Tannehill. Remember Tannehill said, "I'm not going to teach this guy nothing." You know what I mean? It's not my job. And then he gets hurt, and it's like, okay, well, you're only as good as you're taught. You know what I mean? And if you didn't teach him that, you guys are going to continue to lose, and then that's your fault. Still, even in injury, it's your fault. You know what I mean? So
how many years Tannehill got on his contract with Tennessee?
And this is last year.
This kid got drafted this year.
Yeah, Malik got drafted. So that's what you think they're going to move on? I think if this is last year in the contract, I don't think Tennessee going to resign him.
It's either this year or next year. I know it's one of the two. I was thinking this was his last year.
But I mean, I get it. I understand where he's coming from. But on a team, like you can't be selfish like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know what I mean. Look at Jimmy Garoppolo. You think he wants to be a backup? You know what I mean? Like, you think he wanted to play coming off of 2 years removed from a Super Bowl? You think he wanted to back up this kid?
Yep.
You hear him crying though, right? You know, he couldn't get a trade. He was hurt. Just, all right, I'll sign the contract. And look at him now. He's not, burning the house down.
This is another chance for him, though. This is really another chance. Because if he played good, lead the 49ers back to the NFC title game, even to a Super Bowl, teams will probably be willing to pick him up next year.
Mm-hmm.
Or while that's at, you keep them and you pay them. You extend them.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, is Lance the backup after that?
I mean, the thing with that is like he was in a no-win situation. You can blame because I'm starting to believe that like the Shanahans don't know how to really protect players. You know what I mean? Because think about it, Robert Griffin III, he did the same thing. You know what I mean? Like you didn't. You're not protecting these guys. You're running a quarterback because he's big and can run multiple times in the first 2 games of the season. It's like this guy hasn't even established himself, and you're already running design runs. Like you got a running back, you got 3, you got 4, you got all these guys that have been stepping in around him. Like you know what I mean? Like throw it to Debo. You know what I mean? Like I would have told him after that first game, look, man, slide. Don't try to have more in that game. I mean, they had him running the ball like a running back, Trey Lance, the first game. And then the second game, I'm just like, dude, I would have told him to slide. They kept saying, dude, Shanahan got no love for like the last 2 months. You know what? Like that month after he got hurt, they were pissed. You know what I mean? You're pissed, but, luckily Jimmy G stepped in and kind of, saved the day. But, I mean, other than that, they're pissed. There's no love for Shanahan. You know what I mean? And it's not like they just harp on it, but there's errors in his way. You know what I mean? Like you can kind of see it. Like, he doesn't, and he doesn't do a lot for himself. The only thing I respect from him is he makes a decision and he stands on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Other than that, like,
Let me ask you this. We're talking about Geno and how he was with a bad team, and now he's looking like a solid quarterback. Could we look at Trevor Lawrence in a similar situation and in 3-4 years be somewhere else and flourishing?
Tampa Bay? I'm saying, like he's going to leave.
I mean, Brady's still going to be playing at this point.
I think so. I think the only thing I think about like Trevor Lawrence is like his coach is a quarterback coach.
Yeah.
So if he's not put in a good position there, then I mean I don't know where else you can go to get a perfect situation.
I mean, he has been playing better this year, but he has not been playing very good.
I mean, it's not hard to do when you don't have no receivers.
Yeah.
Offensive line isn't that great.
He has one guy. Doggone it. I was looking at him in the fantasy league, and I cannot think of who it was now. I mean, the running back, they going with ATN.
Yeah, because they traded Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets. That looked like that was I still don't understand that move, but I get it. But I'm just like, why would you trade him away. Like, why would you do that? Like, you don't need any assets. You gave him away for a draft pick. Like, were you doing him a favor? Like, I don't understand. Like, but like for me, I'm like anything to protect the quarterback. You know what I mean? If that means running the ball or someone to catch it, like they definitely got to get a receiver. They have no receivers. Not nobody that I know of. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to think of somebody they could even get. I mean, I don't really think there's really anybody coming up to free agency that I can think of.
Nobody's gonna go to Jacksonville. No one will go to Jacksonville, not by choice.
Hey, AEW's Tony Khan's dad owns the team. Come on. Or Tony Khan, one of the one. I can't remember which owns the team. They can play football and wrestle.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like
that's perfect for Gronk.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it and I'm just like, dude, nobody will go there.
Yeah.
Nobody who's gonna go there unless they're drafted, they're not gonna go there.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like Detroit. I mean, nobody's coming to my lines. You know, it is what it is.
Detroit, I don't even know what to say like about them. They got somewhat of a pass rush, you know what I mean? Yeah. Somewhat. Their secondary is horrible. They can't tackle.
No.
I mean,
to me, the last 2 weeks, well, I think they had a bye week stuck in there, I believe.
Yeah.
But last couple of weeks, it's just like, what happened?
Yeah.
But they were hanging in there. I mean, they were giving up a lot of points, but the offense was at least playing. Now that's not even doing any good.
Yeah, I think they're on the right track. I don't know what I know their defense is always missing the same thing, and that's a secondary.
Yeah.
Definitely.
They had Slay. They got rid of him. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, that's really the only –
he's not great in Philadelphia. He's not great, but, I mean, he still is serviceable.
I mean, he was really solid with Lions.
Yeah,
he might have just been getting a little long in the tooth.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely need a corner and a safety and a linebacker. Those are the three positions that we keep kind of rotating people in and out of.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what's necessary. They need a solid like I like the Hutchinson kid, but man, what's his name? Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
I don't know that he wouldn't have been too bad for the team. Like, you know what I mean? Like, could have traded back, got him, and then, you know.
I mean, coming out, I thought that Hutchinson just looked like a beast out there.
Yeah, but he just doesn't fit the scheme of the team. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't have like I said, they don't have an established pass rush where he was the missing piece.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You have like a veteran team. Like, look at like the Niners. Like if they had like him and one, like if you would have got two defensive linemen and a linebacker, then that could kind of keep you, you know. They got Armstead and then they had gotten Bosa. You know what I mean? Like that kind of keeps the line occupied, and then you can kind of cheat with some fake back.
Like know? Hutchinson on one side and Bosa on the other side. I mean, that would
like that. And that's what I mean. We need something like that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you can't. I can't say you can just find those type of things, but that's what they're missing. They're missing a tandem on both on the line and in the back. You know, in the defensive backfield, they need guys that are kind of, you know, not taking chances, but like, you know, they got each other back. You know, this guy's gonna rush, and you can kind of sit on players, because I watch a lot of these defenses, and they're not all. There's not any great defenses right now. They're all pretty bad. They're not all like just like, oh, you know, except for the Cowboys. I hate to say it, but the Cowboys are the only defense that actually looks, you know, like they got it together. Everybody else is kind of, you know, they're getting beat up just like, you know.
I mean, the Rams defense, for example, that's fallen way back this year.
Oh yeah. Because they won that Super Bowl. Now they're just trying to, you know, they haven't even got a chance to enjoy it yet.
Yep.
You know, you figure like the Warriors. I was watching the other night, opening night. They got their rings. It's like that season just ended. Now you get your ring. It's like now that's like, oh, I got my ring. It's like you want to celebrate now. You don't want to like, you know, oh fuck, it's back to work. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, that's one thing I've never understood. Is like the game one, you get your ring. Oh wait, we're about to tip off.
Yeah, it's a whole
We're
nother.
literally about to tip off.
Yeah, it's like it's a total. I was watching. We were out to dinner Friday night, and we were watching them play Denver, and I was just like, they were getting beat, you know. And I'm like, man, every team is coming out just swinging.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like you got to look at like the Rams, like
Swinging like green.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's the same thing.
Teammate like that, dude.
Man,
I was like, what?
Yeah,
man.
I seen that and I was just like, you know what? There's two things going for that. They're both from Michigan, or Midwest guys.
Mm-hmm.
One from Michigan, one from Michigan State. Mm-hmm. So they're always gonna jaw at each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't even realize that the other kid was from Michigan State. Was it Poole?
Poole went to Michigan.
I mean, that's right. Green went to Michigan State. Yeah, I didn't realize he went to Michigan. I did not.
There's no love there whatsoever.
Yeah. I mean, that's Ohio State, Ohio.
Ohio
State,
all that. You know what I mean? Like, there's no
Duke,
love.
Duke, North Carolina, in basketball.
Yeah. So he was. In practice he's talking big stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he was about to get his money. And Draymond ain't getting his. Recipe for disaster.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know.
And like I said, I think more stuff happens like that more often than not. That's the first time we've seen it. Mm-hmm. And I'm not like I said, everybody else was like in awe, and like everybody was like, man, that happens all the time. But like I was telling my friend, it's like that's one place though that when I'm at work, I don't want to worry about having to get into a fist fight. You know what I mean? Especially where if it happens, I got to look at you every day after that because you're not getting fired or I'm not getting fired. Like,
I mean, to me, it's even worse because your basketball team, you're on a plane going from state to game to game. I mean, like if you're at work, you're there for 8 hours and you take off. Yeah, sometimes more than 8 hours, but.
Well, but even when you're on a sports team, you're there for 8 hours practicing.
Oh yeah,
for the most part, and film, all that type of stuff. But my thing is like, even on a football team, like if you get into it, like you guys are gonna either hate each other for the rest of your career while you're there, or you're gonna have to figure out a way to get over it. You know what I mean? Basketball or football, it's like, and that's the part that's tough because it's like, okay. At some point, someone has to admit they were wrong, or you know what I mean. You guys are gonna have to iron it out one way. You don't have to love each other, whatever, but you guys got to respect each other. You know what I mean?
I mean, Draymond did come out and say, basically, it was my fault. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, but he always says that.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, yeah, maybe somebody wrote that for him. I don't know.
I'm a little fed up with his song and dance personally. You know what I mean?
I mean, he's been doing that for a long time.
And like I'm
literally punching his teammates, but I mean, just
like I was telling my coworkers, I'm like, dude, that dude has that whole organization punked. Like they're all afraid of him. Mm-hmm. They're all afraid to do or say anything to or about him. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you know what I mean.
He's not gonna pull a Latrell on somebody and choke the coach, is he?
Well, that's the thing. It's like if you watch that video, watch how the coach kind of comes to the side and he was going to intervene, but he was like, I'm not getting in the middle of that. And then when he punched him, he was like, fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I knew that was going to happen, but there's nothing I could do. You know what I mean? Like, what he's going to do. But it's like, that's what I mean. Like, he's going to do what he wants to do. Mm-hmm. This is the second time. First time was Durant.
Yeah.
Durant got out of town, and then you did it to Poole. Poole was probably like, man, you had a assignment. I'm fucking out of here. You know what I mean? So that's why they were like, here, take that. Here you go. 140 million, take it. Gosh. And then who you think Draymond's gonna get that money? He ain't getting shit.
Yeah.
You screwed up because they probably didn't want to pay him and they had leverage to wait it out until this dude jumped the gun and punched him, and then they gotta pay him. You know what I mean? So
welcome back.
Yeah, man, my computer crashed on me. I had to restart.
Oh. I thought it was something that he said. Yeah, I didn't think nothing.
We had an earthquake today, man.
Yeah, I heard it's like a 5.1.
Yeah, I didn't feel it. My wife was working at home today. I was in the office, and she was like calling me, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah." in my car. And she was like, you didn't feel that? And I'm like, nah. And then my other coworker, she was working from home today. She was like, you didn't feel that? I'm like, nah, you didn't feel nothing.
I live here in Virginia, and we had one a few years back. I mean, it's probably been like over a decade now, and it was a 3.1. So it was barely shaking anything. I was riding my bike down at the trail that day, and every year I put out this meme. It says "Never forget," and it's got like this one little lounge chair tipped over.
Oh, right. I mean, somebody was I think one of my cousins lives in Virginia, and he sent me that meme. He was like, and it said something like,
maybe we will rebuild it or something.
Yeah, something like that. It was like people in Richmond during the earthquake, and it was like a launcher falling over or something like that. I forget what it was, but it was something funny like that. And I was just like, yeah, man. I was telling my daughter because this was her first one. She had never been in one before. So, and I'm like, I was like, so how did what was your take from it? Because I'm like, I can't, prepare you or explain to you an earthquake because it's not like I can let you know, oh, it's going to happen next week. And it's crazy because last week they had this thing at school where they had to, they had like a fire drill, but it was an earthquake drill.
Mm-hmm. I can imagine.
Yeah, and it was crazy because my wife works on the 13th floor at her building. I'm only on the second floor of my building, but she's at the 13th floor at her, and I was like, "What's that?" Shit, you know what I mean? Because I'm not running down a bunch of stairs. Like I'm not doing it. Not in a situation like that. I ain't waiting for nobody.
Yeah.
Not when rocks is crumbling. You know what I mean?
All right. Speaking of crumbling, the Green Bay Packers.
Oh man,
great.
Who's worse? Like I'll say between the two teams. I saw the topic on Undisputed, Green Bay and Tampa Bay. I have to say Tampa Bay, man.
That's the worst.
Yeah, I know their offensive line's bad because they said a guy got benched 2 times in the same game. Like what? They benched him, put it back out there. They benched him again. Like Jesus.
I mean, how do you get benched twice in one game? That doesn't even make sense.
That's not problem.
Hey,
they said, "Man, we had enough."
It's 4th down. Get on the bench.
Yeah, right.
Get back in there.
Get back over there.
Hey, don't wonder why Brady chewed them out last week or the game against the Steelers, man. Hey, man that offensive line is bad. Like Green Bay, they just missing Devontae. They missing Devontae Adams, man. They should have knew that this was going to happen the moment you let this man walk.
But why? Why would you let him go?
Yeah,
you had one job. Keep him. That's it. But you know what? I think he didn't want to resign.
I think that was it. I think he basically said, "I do not want to be here anymore."
Yeah. Because Green Bay offer contract. They offer more money than what the Raiders did.
Yeah, but I think just that coach, man. I don't know, but Rodgers has no confidence in any of the players around him. Zero.
No, man.
Well, anytime he throws the ball and it's incomplete, he rolls his eyes like it's somebody else's fault. He's been doing that for years now. Every time. If you look at it, he's like
on my other team, what's it, Romeo Dobbs or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever. I have him on one of my other teams. That guy got 4 targets, no catches. And they said that what he does is if you throw a ball to him and if he throws a ball to you and you drop it, he leaves you. He will not throw you the ball
Oh,
anymore.
he had a couple guys dropping balls.
Well, he's overthrowing people. That rookie in the first game of the season when he was going downfield, and it was a wide open pass, and he threw a bomb to him, and he was wide open.
The ball's right there,
and never went back to him.
Yeah.
And you can't do that. You can't. You have to get confident. You got to let that guy drop 10 passes.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know that next game drop.
Let's be real here. The Giants receivers were dropping balls all game long. And they said, fuck it, we just going to run the ball with Daniel Jones and Saquon in that 4th quarter. Hey, man, we ain't going to attempt no passes.
So, hey, there you go. But, I mean, if you don't have that, I mean, I just think that those coaches, those young guys, they're just so headstrong in their beliefs that their systems aren't breakable.
They're all. Yep.
Yeah, that they won't change. And it's like, dude, you got some point you got to say, okay, this guy. We got to take the ball out of his hand. We got two running backs.
Ryan Clark said that on ESPN. He said that they still trying to play like Devontae Adams on that field. They need to completely change the entire offense and trying to merge like how the Cowboys they just pretty much changed the entire offense without that. Like, Green Bay, that you got no Devontae Adams. Stop throwing the football around like you got Devontae Adams out there. Yeah. These guys are not going to get. They're going to get single coverage. These receivers, and if they dropping passes left or right, or they not getting open and not running the right routes, change your offense.
Well, think about this though. Remember, they kept saying that they were drafting all these defensive players. The defense sucks.
Defense sucks. Yeah.
And then all your receivers are third, fourth, fifth, sixth round guys.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, Jones is a good running back, and
but I mean, as far as your receivers, like you have no skill positions that are above the fourth round, third round.
But I'm just saying, if they run the ball more, maybe that will open things up for those guys.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. I think
you need to make things easy for them.
But then they can't, or I won't say they can't, but they're not going to throw. Mm-hmm. So you're going to load the box. You know what I mean? Like that's a long day. You know what I mean? Like,
so it's Aaron Rodgers not running quarterback himself.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So you're 3 and out. You know what I mean? So I don't. They drafted all defensive players, and their defense is terrible. None of those players have panned out. And then if you don't replenish any of your receivers, and so if you will if you knew Devontae was walking, your first round pick should have been on a receiver.
Yep.
One of the best receivers that were out there in a receiver heavy draft. You know what I mean?
After receiver last year, but they what was the year when they drafted Love, the quarterback?
No, that's
like 3-4 years ago now. Yeah.
They could have had Jamar Chase. You know what I mean? They were in the top 10. They traded back and got that kid, remember?
That was a wasted draft pick. Right now, that's a wasted draft pick. I don't think Love's going to pan out to be anything right now.
Well, he's never going to get a shot.
But the fact that the 2 games that he got shot, he didn't look good. Like
he looked horrible.
Yeah.
So, he looked almost as bad as Matty Ice out there.
Oh, man. So what's going on with him? What happened to him? I mean,
I think they just benched him and said we're starting.
Yeah, they just straight up benched him from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they want to lose then, basically.
Or they was like, sorry, you suck, dude.
Yeah. Because everybody was talking like, oh man, he's putting up all this points and blah 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 blah.
Game the week before, like, Matt, he was doing
300 something yards passing and a touchdown. Yeah.
So you thought that he'll come back and have another good game, but Tennessee defense once again owns the Colts and Matt Ryan. Man, they
ever since that Super Bowl, man, he's never been the same.
Mm-mm.
That thing actually just broke him.
Yeah,
this should break a lot of players and teams.
I don't blame him, but it's the facts. You know what I mean? Like ever since that game, he was never the same. Even when Atlanta let him walk. And he was their franchise quarterback. You know what I mean? They just let him walk. Like
Julio Jones, he hasn't been the same since then.
Who?
Julio Jones?
Oh no,
man, that man legs is shot. I don't think he ever gonna play more than 4 games in a row.
I mean, when he went to Tampa Bay, I was like, okay, maybe he's gonna be back, and he's gone.
Yeah, he got hurt in the first game on the one big play. He had a 40-yard reception and got hurt on that. Like, oh, come on, man. Julio, I think he's going to probably go ahead and retire early. Because it make no sense for him to constantly keep coming back and get hurt again. So just call it quits, man. Your leg is shot.
If your hamstrings are that bad, shouldn't you go and get the get like one of the best like massage person or whatever to take care of you? Like, you know,
I called Deshaun Watson. He's got a few.
Deshaun Watson gotta have a whole book full of people. Like, look, man, if you're in
hamstrings, this one specializes in knees. This one specializes
lower back injuries, right?
This one right here, front, just below the midsection.
Yeah.
You need to get that
I fell for that though. I thought that Julio was going to be good. You know, Tom Brady. Oh yeah, he's back. You know, I can't wait to throw him. Nah,
You know,
man.
who would be a great replacement for Antonio? Like, yeah.
Man, stop doing all these reclamation projects, man. Just go get a good. You got 2 or 3 good guys, man. You're fine.
Hey, look, I don't know, but that drop by Mike Evans, oh my god, man. That right there killed the entire game for the Bucks. Because if he would put the ball there, the Bucks probably would have won that game going away. But
why? What did he do? What did he do?
Mike Evans, on the first drive of the game, he had a wide open pass right in his hands. He bobbled it, dropping it like, oh man, Mike Evans. Like the Buccaneers, they play the Ravens this Thursday. I don't know, man. That game is. Look, I still have questions about the Ravens. Almost gaffed up another game against the Browns, man. They almost.
Why the Browns are acting like they're good?
They're acting like they don't need Deshaun. Because what's his name?
Brissett, yeah.
Yeah, he's been playing actually pretty solid.
Pretty good, yeah.
He's always good on the Colts. The Colts just didn't want him.
Yeah, I mean, I had Njoku on one team, and he was playing good for Titans.
He got hurt in that game.
Yeah. I think that's going to hurt him a lot too. Brissett. But I can't pronounce my man's name.
Brissett,
Yeah.
He's good. I mean, he's a good backup. Like he's a backup you'd want on your team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like he was what Tom Brady's backup, right?
Yeah, he was with the Patriots.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, you're gonna get a lot of.
Wait, wasn't he Andrew Luck's backup?
He went to the Colts. Yeah,
he went to the Colts after the.
Okay, I didn't even realize he was.
Not how many years he was with the Colts, but it was there for.
He was there for a while.
I didn't realize he was with New England.
They didn't want to let him go, and then he went with one of the coaches went. I forget what it was, an offensive coordinator. Somebody went to the Colts.
Yeah, I can't remember if he was on the team last year.
No, he was on the Colts. Remember? And then
He was with the Colts last year, so he played all 4 or 5 years there.
Yeah, and then they got
Andrew Luck. I think Andrew last year
he took over for what's his name? He was there before from the Eagles.
Wentz?
Yeah, Wentz. And then when Wentz came, he left.
Yeah.
And then Wentz left again. And they got Matt Ryan.
One and done, yo. Like, yo, the Colts, like, ever since Andrew Luck retired, they've been one and done with it. They've been getting, you got Phillip Rivers. Now, Phillip Rivers played pretty good.
Yeah.
Yo, it was his fault they lost that playoff game to the Bills. He played good enough.
And he was done at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He still played.
His last couple of years with the Chargers, like, yeah, Phillip Rivers he's on borrowed time now.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, he had to worry about those 12 kids of his, or ever how many.
Well, he's worrying about them right now, man.
I don't know what he was saying. I hope them kids are all grown by now.
They better be.
They're young, man. Get that.
He
Come
he got drafted by New York.
Yeah, I liked him coming out, but when he thought he was worth as much as Eli, I was like, come on, man.
He ain't made it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
that was the problem.
He was just like, oh man, you traded me for him, so that means I'm worth as much. No, not really.
Hold on now. Hold on a second. The AFC at that time, you had to go through Manning and Brady.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not a lot of other people that
and McNair was there at the time.
Yeah.
Him and Big Ben came in same time. So
So I mean, it's not like he didn't make it to a Super Bowl. There's a lot of reasons why he didn't make it to a Super Bowl.
And then he had LaDainian.
That 2016, I will never forget that team, man. No, 2007. They had the best record and they lose to the damn Patriots, man. I was so upset with that team, man, because I was like, yo, if the Chargers would have beat the Patriots and would have played the Colts in the AFC Championship game, they would have beat the Colts. They would have most definitely beat the Colts.
Yeah.
So, and that was the golden opportunity with that talented team that Phillip Rivers and the Chargers.
That team was solid. They had Merriman.
John Merriman.
John Merriman, he was a machine out there.
The other guy, the safety, the one that was on Baltimore.
I know they had Clinton Hart. He was him and Marlon McCree. I forgot the other guy's name.
Other than the safety, I forget his name, man.
Donnie Edwards, man. The linebacker.
Their defense, man. Their defense was just as good as their offense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good defense.
Was Sayal? He had already retired by then, didn't he?
Yeah, he was with the Dolphins. He was Dolphins. He was
Patriots or something,
Yeah.
And then, but they had what's his name? What's the guy who the receiver? The kid that
Jefferson at one time, didn't they?
yeah, Jefferson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were good.
I remember LT. I used to love watching him play. I mean, they said he loved Walter Payton so much he built a hill in his backyard to start running up and down it like Walter did.
That dude had
That's pretty cool.
I had him on my fantasy team one time.
Mm-hmm.
That dude was like 35, 40 points every game.
Yeah.
He would have like 15 catches for like 85 yards and 2 touchdowns and run the ball for 92 yards and 2 touchdowns. I'd be like, God damn.
100 yards.
I had him one year, and that was before we had the PPR.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just dominating, man.
Yeah, he was the man. Him, and then it was him and what? Priest Holmes.
Oh man, Priest Holmes on them years, man. Them years of the Chiefs, man. Whew.
Man,
I still remember when I got Larry Johnson the year after his breakout year. He had a solid year. Boy, oh boy, but that injury kind of ruined me, man. Like,
I had Larry Johnson his breakout year, the year he was when Priest Holmes got hurt. I had him. I picked him up off the waiver wire and won my league with that guy. That dude was a beast, man. He only played for like 3 or 4 years. He didn't.
I think it was the 2008 year when he got hurt, and that's what really changed, completely ruined his career. That injury. I forgot. I think it was. I can't remember if it was an ACL. It was a lower leg injury.
Yeah. Man, was that it? Only like 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, it wasn't
because he did play for Washington. I did remember him playing for the Washington.
Yeah, but he was already toast by then.
But he was already by that time. He was. His days out of his prime.
Yeah, he was just a shell on himself by then. But I seems like in my mind I remember him playing longer. That's crazy.
Nah, it was Priest Holmes, then it was him, and then it was what was the other guy?
Jamal Charles.
Yeah, Jamal Charles.
Yeah.
They got Charles like, oh boy, that speed of Jamal Charles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we go back to
he didn't last 3 or 4 years.
He had, 3 or 4 good years until after he kind of fell off. Man, a lot of them, that's a problem, especially the running backs with speed. You know, these guys, they like Chris. Y'all know Chris Johnson. I was like, yeah, Chris Johnson. Because someone said that a couple weeks ago. He was over here in Orlando. Like, and I keep forgetting he do live around here.
Yeah, I had that dude. His rookie, I had him on the keeper league. I had him from his rookie year until like his 5th or 6th year. Man, I had him for like 4 or 5 years, man. And just
I was this could be a keeper league where we could keep like 2 or 3 people.
Yeah, I kept him because I drafted him. No one cared about him, so I got him in like the 10th, 11th round. And that dude from his rookie year on, man. So every year I kept him at wherever we did our keeper league was whatever place you drafted them at. That's where they would stay in your draft. That position you on that pick you picked them. Mm-hmm. So, like, for 5 years, every 10th pick was Chris Johnson. So I just and I was
see in the keeper league. The keeper league we had, it was like if you kept people, that would be like your 1st round pick, your 2nd round pick. No. That's how we did it in ours.
Now we took ours wherever pick you got him at. That's where he was, and if you picked him up off the waiver wire, then it was your very last pick.
Oh. Wow.
So if you picked up a bunch of people if you picked up 3 guys off the waiver wire, then your 17, 18, and 19 pick was those guys. You know what I mean? So
you could keep how many, like your whole roster if you wanted to?
No. We could keep. We kept. I think it was 3 people.
Okay, because then ours it was 2. So
yeah, we decided 3, but it was 2 at first, and then everybody was like, "No, I want another player." So, and we were playing independent defensive players. So
yeah.
Oh,
yeah, so we would play. You would keep an offensive player, your defensive guy, and then somebody else like a receiver or something. Mm-hmm. So I had what's his name, the linebacker from from the Niners. Damn it, what was his name?
No, what years was it? Not Patrick Willis, right?
Patrick Willis. Yeah, I had Patrick Willis. I had Patrick Willis for like 3 or 4 years, and then I traded him for, or I dropped him for, I think it was like Sue or something. I ended up drafting Sue or something like that. I forget who it was. It was somebody else. I was like, I should have just kept Patrick Willis, man. Because Patrick Willis was like, because it was at the end, towards right before you have to drop him. Mm-hmm. He would get like 10 tackles a game at least, man. It was like, and the tackle was like a catch, so you get 10 points.
So they count the point. Oh yeah. No, a linebacker in that position would definitely be great for fantasy.
Yeah. And then what's the guy from Seattle? The linebacker. The guy that he was in. He was just. He's on the Rams now, and he hit that.
Bobby
Wagner. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was weak side.
He hit the dude right. The dude with the
yeah.
That's true.
He would get all those other tackles, so he would just load up on the tackles. And then what's his name? There was another one at that time, the old guy from Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, any cover two, any defense that runs cover two, their linebackers always got a lot of tackles.
Mm-hmm.
Because they would have that weak side linebacker, and they would always get all the. Derek Brooks. That's what it was. Derek Brooks would get you
I said Brooks, but I thought Brooks was too early for that.
Nah. Brooks was around. He was just old at the time. But he still got his tackles.
I forgot was his last year, but I know he was around with 2009. So
yeah, it was around that time. Yeah, wow. I had it for it was 2007, 2008, 2009. So I started in that league in 04, 05. Yeah, 05, I think it was. Yes.
I would like to add a defensive player like that. That'd be great because I've never been in the league with that.
IDP is the best, man, because then you don't have the whole team. Mm-hmm. Some leagues you can have the way we played it was you had the individual defensive players, so you got like a linebacker, a defensive end, and like a corner, and then you could draft the whole defense. So you would have that plus 3 defensive players, and then you had all your offensive players. So we were scoring 200 something points a game.
Yeah, I was about to say I had to score a lot of points, man.
And then one league I played 1 year with my wife and some other people. We had 2 quarterbacks. Have you ever played a 2 quarterback league?
Nope.
You start 2 quarterbacks at the same time. Those are crazy. Because then you have to draft quarterbacks early. You know what I mean? Because everybody
wants to run out quick like that.
Yeah, you want to get quarterbacks because then the rest of the players you can get, but those quarterbacks. So you got to get 2 or 3 quarterbacks because you got to spoil through them on the bye weeks. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And then after that, you just let them rock, and then people start dropping quarterbacks at the end of the year. I remember I had Cam Newton, all kinds of people. Man, you just have 2 quarterbacks. You have one that can run and get points like that, and then you have the one that can just
sling around.
Yeah.
Case Mail. That's what you want.
Yeah.
Those would sound crazy fun, man. Right?
I'm mad though that I didn't draft Jalen Hurts, man. I still want Jalen Hurts.
I had him last year and he ended up on my bench, and now this year he's doing great.
Yeah, he's tearing it up.
All right, Zappy or Jones? Who's going forward?
Crazy. I forgot to post something on the group chat. I was like, yo, what is going on here? You bench Mac Jones.
Why would you bench him though?
Yeah, Zappy come in, score 2 touchdowns. You think, oh man, the Patriots going to dominate this game. The Bears offense, they decided we're going to run the ball down throw. Justin Fields going to have some easy pass. Dang, they dominated that game, and the Bears defense is looking good.
Why do you bench him? I wouldn't even have started him in the first place if you're going to say his ankle.
They said he was ready.
That's terrible.
They said he was ready to play. You start him. He was looking average, looking bad with that, especially that interception.
Well, that's the thing. If that's the thing, you're pissed because he threw an interception, then give the guy an offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you look at both of their performances, Zappy has been playing better than when before Mac Jones got hurt. Zappy, Mac wasn't playing that good, but when Zappy came in, Pacers offense looking good. They were balanced. When he threw the football, he was throwing time.
Yeah, but I'm sure they changed it up because that's the same with with Dak Prescott and the other guy. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, he went
Cooper
under.
Rush, Hall of Fame.
I think he's good, but it's like you changed the whole offense for that guy. You know what I mean?
But see, with what the Cowboys gonna have to do with Dak is their defense is playing so great that you cannot let Dak be Dak 2-3 years ago. You just can't have him sling the ball around like that.
I think that. I mean, I hate to say it. I think they need to pull the reins in on it and be like, play like Cooper was playing over here.
Exactly. That's what they have to play like.
I mean, don't be going for bombs on everything.
Pick your shot. No, pick your shots. Like you know
and you don't have that extra wide receiver since Cooper's gone.
Yeah,
like I just mentioned 2 Coopers in like 5 seconds. I mean, come on.
I know, right? That's the truth, though. I mean, you got to utilize Gallup. You got to utilize the tight end. You got to go. You got to check down.
Coach Vic.
It's good.
They're terrible. That's all.
Yeah. This is like Brian Urlacher Bears defense. Like, where is this Bears defense coming from, man?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Patriots like they're in a full rebuild and they're just not telling anybody. Like they're not admitting to it, but they are completely rebuilding. You know what I mean? Like,
well, let me ask you this: at Belichick's age, can they rebuild for him?
Yeah, but I think they invested so much in him, they're not going to be able to.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, it's like if you're going to rebuild, I mean, I think it's time to let him go, even though he is still. I mean,
he doesn't have any more disciples. They're gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they should have traded. Like what's the?
His son is the D coordinator, if I'm not mistaken.
What's the kid's name who sat out for COVID on defense? The defensive end.
I forgot his name. What, Judon? Judon's back. He playing.
No, this is a kid who played for was he like LSU? I think.
Not Hightower, right? I'm on one during the whole COVID. I think it was Hightower that sat out.
Yeah, Hightower. Yeah, they should have traded him.
Mm-hmm.
They should have traded him and got some draft picks for that guy.
Mm-hmm.
He sat out a year, man. He was still healthy. Like he was a beast before. I would have just been like, you know what? Let's trade the guy.
Wait, didn't Patricia go back to him?
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, but I'm just like, well, maybe they'll be like, let's try this guy coaching here. God, he was terrible.
He's a fraud.
So you can't be a head coach with your hat on backwards. I'm just saying.
He's terrible. That's all. That guy was a piece of shit. He never should have gotten that job.
Yeah.
Ever. And he's the only reason why he's got a job is because of that his coach. That's the only reason.
Yep.
I don't think any Belichick disciple should get a job anymore after this. He got as great as Belichick is. His coaching tree is bad. You look at it is just really bad.
Well, look at the players that leave there on offense and go somewhere else. They are usually not very good anywhere else.
Look at the deep. Look at J.C. Jackson, who just got hurt and is out for the season. He ain't been playing good at all.
Look how bad the Raiders are after McDaniels taking over.
Yeah.
Come on, they weren't bad last year. They weren't terrible.
I mean, not only that, they got Adams on top of it. They should be playing really well.
It's a scheme.
Yeah, I mean,
you got players for one specific scheme, and you won't change your scheme because your scheme is so battle tested. But you guys suck.
You got Carr trying to run it. That ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
Now, when you got Jacob, run him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Throw the ball. First 3 games.
You got a tight end. You got 2 tight ends. You got.
Well, Waller's out, isn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm saying
he got hurt again in that game against the Chiefs. Did he play yesterday?
No, he didn't. He got hurt on the first play.
Oh man, come on, man!
And then they didn't play him last week. So that's what the heck is that?
What the?
Kids are screaming in the neighborhood. Yeah, you got all these players, but you're not using them how their best suits their skill set. You know what I mean?
I don't like when teams, especially when they do that with defensive backs. I don't like when teams you sign a big time player, especially at the corner. I still know with the Buccaneers, you're going to get Darrell Reeves, but you only going to play him in zone cover 2 deep. Like really? Reeves is a shutdown man-to-man corner, and you won't play him in cover 2 zone defense.
And that's because you want to prove that your scheme is the best.
They stop that, man. The coaches, Look what happened to Nnamdi Asamoah, man. His career was ruined by the Eagles. Ruined. That dude was a man-to-man corner, shutdown corner with the Raiders. Eagles sign him. You want to make him a zone cover corner. You want to put him in the slot sometimes. Like, really? Like, so these coaches, they be like, what are you doing signing a player like him and not play to his strength?
Walker and Etienne.
Yeah.
Walker and Etienne.
Mostert. He had a good game against the Giants, so yeah.
Yeah. And Mustard, he had a really good game this week, but yeah, I think I go Walker and ATM myself.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Walker, he pretty much going to be the primary back for the Seahawks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because what's his name, Perry, he out for the season.
They're smart. But then there's one other guy, too, there. I forget his name. They're going to have to spell him, but I don't know how good that other guy is.
Dang, it sucks what happened to Bryce Hall, man. Dang. For the Jets. Oh,
yeah. I had him on my bench in the other team, and I needed him to start this week. Doggone it.
Oh, for the bye weeks.
Yeah.
You got bye weeks coming up, man.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot of weeks. Yeah, I got
lucky. I got through this week with Cooper Kupp on the bench with my bye week. I made it through.
Hey, I got lucky last week starting no tight end. And then I was gonna try and do it again this week, and I was like, man, forget that, man.
Who you had your tight end?
Waller.
Oh, he got hurt.
Yeah, 3 weeks in a row, 2 weeks in a row.
Colonel
Mustard. Anyone matchup, any player you got on offense is going up against the Lions defense. You should like him.
I don't know, man. I started Dak Prescott against him last week.
See, Dak Prescott, I think.
And I had Garoppolo on the bench and got left like 27, 24 points, and Dak got me like 14.
Yeah, you got the dub. That's all that counts.
Yeah, you got the dub.
I don't think Denver's defense definitely don't scare me. And you got to realize Etienne is going to be a lot of catches and a lot of.
The Denver defense is the reason why I lost the week before, because I'm thinking, oh man, Chargers offense is going to put up. I mean, Herbert's going to give me 28 to 30 points. Mike Williams will give me at least 15 to 20, and I was thinking I'm good, man.
I mean, Denver's defense seems to hold people to 5 field goals, and that's it.
Their worst game came against the Raiders in terms of they gave almost 30 points against the Raiders, if I'm not mistaken, and that was it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going against the Lions, you're probably going to put up 30 plus points.
Wait, who's on that defense right now?
Who deep one? I forgot.
Because they're not even. I mean, because Russell Wilson sucks.
Oh, good.
I mean, they can't. They're not. They're not offense ain't scoring. So I mean, that's why I'm asking.
Defense always. I mean, they played good enough to win the game against the Jets. But the offense just can't do nothing, man. They you score a touchdown. No, I think they kicked all field goals, if I'm not mistaken. It was 9 points.
I think was it Tampa Bay that did that too? Kicked like 4
Was it like a 12-9 game in the last week?
Yeah, I think it was Tampa Bay and oh no, that was Washington and
it was another. Yeah, it was Washington. Denver, right?
Yeah,
it was a Thursday night game, wasn't it? Yeah, back-to-back really bad Thursday night games.
All the Thursday night games have been terrible this year.
I'm sure Amazon is really happy about that.
It comes on what? They come on Amazon, right?
Yeah, Amazon Prime. Yeah,
they're not bad telecasts. It's just the games are bad.
Yeah, the games. I think it's the teams. The fact that the Broncos paid on 5 primetime. Like, whose idea was it to give the Denver Broncos 5 primetime games in the first 7 weeks of the damn season? Wait, who come up with that crap? They really thought that Russell Wilson was going to be special for the Broncos? Like, oh yeah, Russell Wilson.
Hey, when the season started, everybody was not everybody, but a lot of the big wigs were like, man, they got a huge signing. Everything's going to be wonderful.
No. Man. That was the worst thing they could have did.
Look, I can see them putting that Seahawks game, and they did that on purpose. The NFL, the Broncos play the Seahawks. Let's go ahead and put that primetime game.
Mm-hmm.
We gonna put it because you put a lot more pressure on Russell Wilson to go back to his former team home. And then the fact that they booed him, like, man, this is the first time a guy who won a Super Bowl for your team,
and could have handed off
the damn stadium. Like, whoa, that was crazy. Not even when Peyton Manning went back to Indianapolis when he was with the Broncos, they didn't boo him. They loved him. They cheered him on. Like,
but see, that's the thing. Nobody likes Russell Wilson.
I did not know that until this year. I thought he was
all his teammates hate him. Like,
I said, the locker room was always divided with Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
I never knew that.
That's why he had to leave. That's why he had to leave.
Mm-hmm. I mean, did you see when before the first game he was practicing running out of the locker room and giving fives to people on his way out, and there was no one there. He was practicing a run out. He's like, I want everything to be just right. Practicing a run out.
That's why they like him, is because that's what it is. It's not about him. It's not about the team. You know,
being with Sierra ain't gonna give you that much credit, bro.
He should have stayed. He had it made there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he had won a Super Bowl. You know, so it was like,
I think it was conflict with him and Pete Carroll. And I forgot who was the offensive coordinator.
He wanted to be like, you know what I mean? He wanted the team to fall at his knees. You know what I mean? And he wanted at his feet, and wanted everybody to do what he said. You know, like he wanted the organization to acquiesce to whatever it was his motive was, and they weren't having it. They were like, "Nah, get out of here." If we didn't keep Marshawn Lynch, bro, we definitely ain't keeping you.
No, they let Marshawn go big time.
Go.
I think he retired, then he came back, right?
Yeah.
But he retired 2 times.
He left and went to the Raiders.
And he went to the Raiders, yeah.
I will tell you, I love that guy. He went from I won't speak to anybody to he's on a commercial every 5 minutes.
Yeah. And him and Richard Sherman if you watch the show, they were talking about that whole situation a while.
I did not hear anything about that.
They both don't like him.
The Super Bowl was the main reason. And I forgot someone. I think it was I don't think it was Skip that boy. I think it was someone on ESPN that boy that they literally did not want to get the ball to Marshawn because they didn't want him to get the MVP. And you know all the media stuff hoopla of him being in the in press conference. You know he wants.
I haven't watched the interview. I keep passing on. I haven't got a chance to sit down and watch it. But I honestly believe that it was a run play, and I think he opted out of it. I think that's what happened. That's why
because that pass was designed. That was a design pass because what's his name? Jermaine Curse blocked, and that block on Brandon Brown did no. Brandon Brown laughing at him. What kind of block he do? Like, nah. And what's his name? Trying to run the block, trying to get underneath the block, trying to run it. What's his name? I forgot the dude's name again. The corner for the Patriots. I know it's Butler, Michael Butler. Michael Butler. Man, he saw that pass coming a mile away. Like, yo,
yep.
He saw it and he jumped that ball and bang. And I remember when I saw that live, my head was about ready to explode. Like, yeah. Marshawn Lynch just ran 8 yards to get down there, and you take the ball away from him in that spot. Now, if that play was like 3rd or 4th down, then I can see that. Yeah, you throw the football in that situation.
Nah, man, you sneak it in. If you on the line, man, you take 4 quarterback sneaks, or you at least, if you don't have Marshawn Lynch, you take 4 quarterback sneaks.
Like an option run.
I would refuse to throw the ball on the goal line.
Get a nose tackle and turn him into Refrigerator Perry and let him run it.
Get in that end zone. There's no way you can get, and you had timeouts, everything. Like, come on, man.
The fact that they said, Ryan Clark said that in today's NFL, running the football is so hard. Like, how the hell in today's NFL it is hard to run the football? In the 70s and 80s, they came out in the I formation with fullbacks on there, and they were running the football with damn ease, especially on 3rd down and 1. Down and 1, you can guarantee a first down. In today's NFL, you get a 3rd down and 1. It is there's no guarantee you can get a first down because the defensive line will penetrate, or they will come out with a spread option, play action pass. I don't know if you saw that the Dolphins, man. I literally face palm. I'm not even a Dolphins fan, and I saw those 2 back-to-back play calls from Mike McDaniel. I was like, my God, you single-handedly kept the Steelers in the game. Like, what are you doing? You're gonna do the exact same run in back-to-back plays. All you did was just flip the formations, flip the tight ends, flip the run on receivers, and you're gonna use the exact same run in the exact same spot, and the Steelers sniffed that out 2 times in a row. Like, you want to go for it? You like these coaches, like they overthink themselves when they even get in the short yardage situation. The Steelers did it too. You got a 3rd down and 1. Like, I'm saying, hand the ball to Najee Harris, let the man get 1 yard and live. Just we'll keep the drive going. Nope, they want to try to do a quarterback sneak, and you're gonna put the wide receiver in motion, trying to get the wide receiver the block on push Kenny Pickett in for the 1st down. And nope, that was a legal formation, and that was
that trade. I mean,
You need a running back.
You're basically trading D-Hop for Etienne, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute, D-Hop just came back, and
Yeah, he just came back. He had a big game too.
I'm keeping D-Hop.
But that's what I'm saying. You're basically trading D-Hop for Etienne.
Etienne got it. Like,
I mean,
I'm
he's
not trading D-Hop for backup running backs, though. No, that's not happening.
He said he needs a running back too.
Because Brees just got hurt. So
Yeah, if Brees got hurt, then boy,
I don't know that I would make that trade though.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, the way Hop played this past week, I mean,
Even if he,
I thought he was hurt. I didn't realize this because he was on the juice.
yeah, he was suspended. If I can get 5 and 50 from him every week, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And maybe a touchdown, I'm cool. Or like he did 10 for 100, I'm good with that too.
How many running backs? This is why I always say you got to at least have 3 running backs, because you never know when injury happens.
Yeah, I had a bunch of running backs. I always go for a bunch of running backs, and I feel like this year I should have went after receivers because there's a lot less of them than there are these running backs.
I don't know. I feel the opposite. I feel like
Really?
running backs are harder to come by for me, it seems like.
Well, when it comes to running backs, you get if a team that desperately needs a running back, you know they're gonna get they're gonna score points.
Yeah.
A team that needs to run the football, a running back is guaranteed to at least give you 10 to 15 points.
Well,
but that's what
I feel like every team, not every team, but I feel like there's a lot more split running backs than it is just.
But that's what I mean, though. There's so many of those running back by committees that you have to either get them both, or you got to get the one that gets the most touches out of the back. Like, can you imagine? Like I had Kareem Hunt, but you have Nick Chubb. Even though Chubb gives you all those points, you still would want to have both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, you want both of them.
I mean, Kareem will give you receiving yards, and he'll give you receiving touchdowns. He'll give you.
So you're basically getting one good running back with the 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but my luck is I will always start the wrong one.
That's why you get them both, and you gotta run them both out there. You know what I mean?
But then you run both of them out there. That to me is almost defeating the purpose. Instead of having like a McCaffrey or somebody that's going to get most of the stuff.
Yeah, but see, that's what I mean, though. There's very few of those John Taylors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like if you can get your top tier, but I feel like there's a lot of wide receivers. I feel like every team just about has at least that one main guy, and then a couple of other big guys.
And they do, but every team they don't all have one.
I think when he had one great game for me in terms of fantasy.
Yeah.
He's my starter. And Mike Williams probably him and AJ Brown are my 2 consistent receivers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, see, and that's the thing. Like I have drafted all those running backs, and they're not even the ones that have gotten me a good consistent play, except for this guy I picked up off the waiver wire 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? So I would rather have receivers that every week are catching the ball, getting 10, 15.
What's the kid's name from Seattle?
Walker.
Yeah, I think you just jinxed him right there.
I ain't gonna start him this week.
he just pulled a hammy.
Oh,
I know, right? But that's the thing. Like, that's why you have to have a bunch of these running backs, though. You gotta have like 4 or 5 of them, and they take up all the space on your bench. You know what I mean? It's like you gotta hope that they that they hit for you. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, but that's my point. That's why I think you get your there. I feel like there's a lot more wide receivers. You can just pull them off the waiver wire a lot easier. It feels like to me.
Yeah, if a receiver comes up, like you have to look at the team and what
Yeah.
in terms of the situation.
Because I think right now is when you start to see the players for who they are. Because now they're turning it into what they're going to do.
Pickens for a reason. I knew, if I would have let Pickens sack, people would have already picked him up.
Oh yeah, I wanted him, but I just I knew he was going to be gone.
I'm just going to draft Pickens. I know he's going to pick up points, and the Steelers going to throw the ball to him more.
Oh, I will tell you on bye weeks, I'm just like, all right, who's gonna let somebody go?
Hey, that man ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. Yo.
Somebody gonna mess up and let a starter set, be like, yeah, I need somebody to put in there.
That happened maybe like a month ago. People were dropping good players after the first couple of games. And I was like, wow, really? You got to give them at least 6 weeks.
Start. You never know, man. You never know when they come back.
Like 6 weeks at least. By now, because you can be like you said, you can be 0-5 and still turn around and get into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's about how you
that was 90 last year. I think he went on 10, 11 game win streak last year.
He was I think he started out 1-3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was 1-3. I started out 3-1. He started out 1-3. He ended up going on a big win streak. I ended up losing 4 in a row.
And then it was me and you in the final, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Thank you for that setup. I appreciate that.
Hey, it was well deserved, man. It was well deserved.
And Cooper Kupp, the MVP of your team, man. That man was consistent.
I'm hoping. I mean, I'll tell you this about Cooper this year. He's doing a lot of really short routes. He's getting a lot of catches, but he's not having a lot more than like 10 yards downfield.
Because everybody knows he's a Pro Bowl Hall of Famer now.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing he's getting is yards after the catch if he gets much.
He gets triple covered. That's what it is.
8 to 10 catches. They're
not going to let him.
Yeah.
As much as he was beating them fools in the Super Bowl, they're not going to let that happen.
Yeah.
They're not
they
going
need
to let
another guy on the other side to do something. I mean, I don't know.
Allen Robinson got off to a great career. He got off to a great start with Jacksonville. He just completely went away. I completely forgot he was with the Bears for that. He was with the Bears.
He didn't play.
Hey, really?
He came and watched.
Yeah, I can't even remember him ever scoring any name for the Bears. Even in some of the games I've seen on TV, Allen Robinson was guarding the Bears.
When was the last really good Bears team?
Brian
Urlacher. Outside of that Super Bowl all those decades ago.
The last good team that they had in terms of offense, defense.
I mean, Urlacher was probably on one of those teams.
I think the 2012 team when they were scoring all those defensive touchdowns.
Yeah.
That was the last great team that they had. But I forgot who was the quarterback. Was Jay Cutler the quarterback? I can't remember. Oh, boy. The quarterback.
I think so. I think it was Cutler and the wide receiver. Man, why can't I think of my man's name?
Well, Brandon Marshall was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marshall.
Let's see with these divisions. There's no division. Yo, the Bills, look, they 5-1, man, but the Jets are right on their asses.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Jets play the Patriots and Bills back-to-back weeks at home. So, yeah, if the Jets, they beat the Patriots and they show out against the Bills, even if they lose, but if you play a competitive game against the Bills, the Jets are for real, man. That's the team that, especially their defense. I think that dude Sauce Gardner. I don't know what with the Broncos. This dude, they kept on throwing the football and he's a rookie. That man was a lot of nothing. He was Sauce Gardner.
They say he's gonna be defensive player of the year.
You think Michael Carter? You think he's will come back and play well or no?
Who?
Carter for the Jets, the running back.
We'll see, man. Cause they trade who they trade for. I know I saw they got a trade for a running back. They gonna be right back. Maybe go
I mean,
ahead.
was this today or something? Or
Yeah, I think it was either today when that news broke.
oh, I did not know that because I thought Michael Carter will go back since Hall got hurt.
James Robinson. They traded James Robinson from Jacksonville. They gave up a 6th-round pick.
Okay, because the ATN had taken the running back spot there.
Yeah, 18 because Robinson the minutes. I know last. I was like he was having a good year for the last year.
Hmm. That's interesting. I did not know that.
Yep.
Maybe in my other league, I'll be looking him up then for a week.
For who?
James Robinson.
Yeah.
I got him. I got him on my team.
Well, I'm talking about in my other league.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't need
he was
somebody.
on the bench.
He was on the bench for a long time.
I didn't know he was on my bench in the other league.
Because he's off of Achilles, so nobody drafted him. I was gonna draft him actually, but I was like, nah, I should be able to leave him. And I ended up getting him, so then he got traded.
Let me see here. My team in the other league, I've got Burrow, Fournette, Chubb, Chase, Tyreek Hill, Kittle.
Damn. Oh, that's in the 18 league, right?
Amari Cooper, Cowboys defense. On my bench, I've got Eckler and Mahomes because they're off this week.
Good Lord.
I told you, man.
Wow.
I told you that team was stacked.
How many points Andy Dalton? I mean, not to say Andy Dalton. What the fuck? Joe Burrow. How many points Joe Burrow scored?
Last week, this week he scored like 50 something.
Yeah, I know he had 400 yards passing.
I think in back-to-back weeks he might have led the entire league in scoring.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He had to lead. Man, wow.
Yep, back-to-back weeks he had the most points. I wonder when the last time that happened. LaDainian?
Yeah, probably.
You know what? It could have been Mahomes like in the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Did Mahomes had back-to-back games over 4 touchdowns and 300?
Mm-hmm. All right, guys, we've been on for a little over an hour. I'm going to run you know what? We've had enough sports talk. I was going to show the fantasy standings, but, you know what? Let's see if we can show those.
Oh, you see, I don't even look at it, but I know I'm last.
I'm right above him. So
last is first upside down. Come on.
There you go.
No, I'm expecting the change.
All right, let's see here. I won with only 133, so that was nice.
At least I scored over 150 points for the first time.
Yep, 151 for you. 159, leading the league with points, Remo.
Steve right behind him, 158.
Like a point.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. All right, let's see. Let's see the standings. 90. Everything just got tight with 90 losing.
Yeah, his first F.
Everything just tightened up at the top.
Yeah.
I am Groot. He's on the rise.
But in reality, I mean, what was it? 6 teams make the playoffs?
Yeah,
yeah.
So you got the 14.
So, I mean, really, everybody's still in it.
Yeah.
I mean, at the top, we have 2 buys. So, I mean, there's what? 1, 2. I'm going to say up through Alexis. I think everybody's got shots of those buys. After that, it's going to be tough.
Mm-hmm. Dude, he made 4 moves.
Yeah, he had a good draft.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I thought Steve and him had the best 2 drafts. And next week, let's see the matchups. Let's see this guy right now. Right there. And there's my quarterback sitting right there on the side.
Team.
Let's see. I got Dastardly. Let's see. 90 versus Hialeah. Alexis versus Remo. That could be interesting.
I need to just win all out. That's all.
Hey, if you believe it, you can achieve it.
All I got to do is pick the right lineup. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Coach Vic versus Jace. That could be good too.
Yeah.
Whoa. Jace, 79. How many buys do you have?
Well, I gotta put AJ Brown. Yeah, who the Cowboys got by, so I got CD Lamb. I gotta bet. I don't know.
Let's
He
see.
playing.
You got Herbert on by.
Yeah, yeah.
Williams
So,
on by. I'm pretty sure the
AJ Brown's coming back, and Derek Carr is going to be back and stuff.
and you got every player on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It's 4 players.
That's half the team.
Yeah, 4. Pickens going to be staying in.
Let's see what you got on the bench. Yeah, well, Harper, is he Hooper, excuse me, is he not playing well or only projected 3 points?
Yeah, he's. Well, is he starting for Tennessee?
I thought he was, but I mean, projected to get 4 points. That doesn't sound very good. And Bellinger, he's out.
I picked him up, and he got hurt, and then like, dang, he's my back, and that's why I was supposed to give it a.
And I'm looking at his team. He doesn't look like he has any buys.
No.
Well, I mean, his buys are on the bench, so.
And he got a couple guys on. Yeah, he got guys on IR. So.
Yeah, he's got Brees Hall over there. So, yeah, this is the time of year. Bye weeks can win you or can lose you.
That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Now remove that. I mean, I plan on winning this week. What do y'all? Y'all plan on winning?
Plan on it.
Yeah. Looking on the pregame.
I just jinxed my team right there.
Like I said, I can only my losses have been bad. Bad lineup changes and leaving points on the bench. So I just got to put the right lineup in there.
Funny thing is, both games I was projected to lose because of the opposing quarterback, and the opposing quarterback scored less than 20 points in both games. Like that right there opened the floodgate for me to win. When I saw that Lamar Jackson only had 18 points for 90, I like, oh shit, I got a chance. Herbert, give me 25, give me 30. I got a chance. And he stunk the joint there. Like, oh.
I mean, this past week I was watching him, and he had like negative points into the second quarter.
Yeah, yesterday he had what? I think he had 11 to 12 points in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
In the fourth quarter, he was putting up garbage points. After when the Seahawks scored that long touchdown pass, that's when they starting to finally move the football down the field, picking up garbage yards. Yeah. And that's because he had 12 points, I think, going into the fourth quarter, and he ended up getting 20-something points because he got to score the touchdown and picked up more yards. I'm like, man, sorry, you were damn near. You had a average, below average game. And like, yeah, Herbert. I said I didn't know he had the bye week, so I was on the verge of benching him. Like, yo, Herbert.
People are talking bad about him, and I'm just like, why are you guys upset? Like, he's still in his second, third year. Like,
no, this is his third year, but I was he did got hurt a couple weeks ago. Remember, he got the so maybe that's something to do with it. But
I'm saying, like, not even fantasy purposes, just like in the NFL, they're like,
hey man, he was a year after Patrick Mahomes, if I'm not mistaken.
No, him and Burrows and same year.
Yeah,
so like, 3 years ago.
Yeah. Burrow right now is better than him, playing way better than him. So
they said Burrow is like right underneath Josh Allen, basically.
Yeah.
I got him in my other league. I've had him for the last 2 years on various teams. So I think he's good. They just gotta protect that guy. They gotta get along.
This man, I ain't realize. See, Higgins came back yesterday, and all 3 receivers over. What boy had over 100 yards receiving touchdowns. Like
almost like Carson Palmer when he had Hushmanzada and Chad Johnson and. It's getting back to that.
Yeah, that Bengals team, man.
I mean, they're slinging around, man. They sling it.
Every time I hear Hushmanzad, it's always, who's your mama?
Exactly.
It's like, TJ, who's your mama? All right. Before we go, one last question, and then we'll check out for sure this time. Astros or Phillies? World Series, who you got?
D, we need to talk about this because when I completely forgot the Nationals beat the Astros in the World Series in 2019. So you telling me the Nationals last year the Braves and now the Phillies?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck the Mets doing, man? What are you doing? Y'all get 101 wins and you get eliminated in the first round, and you got the Phillies going to be the third team in the National League East to win a championship in 5 years, and the Mets can't do nothing in one playoff period. Like, come on, man. That's why yo, Astros, man. I'm not rooting for the Phillies.
I'm not. I'm honestly, I can't root for either team. I'm not.
But
I don't even think I'm gonna watch it.
Dusty Baker as a manager, and I root for him to win the championship.
That's it. That's the only. I just
Baker,
don't like the Astros. I never really did.
I don't like them, but I just can't root for the Phillies. I don't want to see the Phillies win it. I don't want them to be the third National League East team to win it. If the Mets next year, man, if they make it back to the playoffs, boy, I'm putting extreme high expectations for them to make it. You have to break it.
They're not going to make it next year. First of all, DeGrom is going to leave. We know that's going to happen.
Who you think is going to leave, him or Judge? Who's the most likely to leave?
If I say
where would Judge go though? Who's going to go?
Judge is talking to the Dodgers. He's been talking about the Red Sox.
Yeah, teams with money are going to go after him.
Yeah, I mean, I've even
bring him to the Giants. Bring him to the Giants or the A's.
Yeah, bring him
home. Bring him home. Bring him home.
The rumor was that he's a big Red Sox fan, so he might go there.
I mean,
Chase Tatum. City Field is waiting for him. We needed somebody that can hit that ball.
I don't think the Mets. If the Mets ain't going to pay the ground, they're not going to pay your Judge.
I will tell you why they would. DeGrom is hurt every year. And if you look at him his last few starts this year, he was already losing velocity. He wasn't throwing as good.
When he came back, I'll say in August or September, you could see that he was starting to lose control of his pitches.
Exactly.
And he gave home runs.
Exactly.
Scherzer was pitching better than him. Like, Scherzer was pitching great. Yeah, DeGrom's kind of he's starting to lose a little steam there.
And that's why I think they would take Judge over DeGrom. Mm-hmm. He's younger, he's stronger, and he's going to hit the ball a mile. He's putting people in the seat every day and not every fifth day.
They need extra power. Besides, if you pair him up with Pete Alonso, oh man, you knocking balls out the park. You're looking at 50 home runs for both plays.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you got potential for 100 home runs between the two.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, by the way, I'm picking the Astros because I also cannot pick the Phillies.
No,
I can't do it. I can't.
I'm just disgusted, man. I like, the Mets. Y'all made it to the World Series in 2016.
Like the Dodgers, man, it's the same thing. All kinds of money, all the players.
This made me so upset with the Mets because the Padres. I'm like, if the Mets would have beat the Padres, played the Dodgers, you beat Kershaw. That's the number one guy you beat. You beat Kershaw, the Dodgers in trouble. Because every time when he loses his first matchup, the Dodgers lose the series.
Yep.
So
if we beat the Cubs one time, we are ahead of the Braves and we skip the wild card.
If they would just beat the Braves and instead of getting swept, all you need to do is beat the Braves in one game. Beat them one game and you win the division by sweeping the Nationals.
I mean, I can see losing to them in Atlanta, but if we just beat the
they got swept by the Cubs. That was a 4-game series swept.
Remo is struggling with this one.
Because none of my teams are in it. So it's like I can't even, the Giants.
Teams we don't like is in it. I don't want to see Harper carrying around another trophy.
No.
I do not like that guy.
I completely forgot about the Nationals winning the championship in 2019. Like, I wonder why. Because the fucking Nationals. Like, oh man. Like, when I looked up the history, when they said that this is the actual 5th appearance, I'm like, Astros been here that many times. And I look back and I thought the Nationals beat the Astros in the World Series. Like, oh god, no wonder why I completely forgot about that season. Nationals, but they ain't been in the playoffs since they won the World Series.
Well, they pulled the Marlins and got rid of everybody on the team.
Everybody.
Come on.
I mean, they're like, we got one of the best players in baseball. Ship them to San Diego.
Hmm.
I mean, next year you got Tatis, Machado, and Soto on the same team. That is going to be massive.
That's gonna be scary right there.
Unless Tatis is taking more of the juice.
Oh boy. Yeah. You know,
Anyway, fantasy football. My team's winning. They're winning. They're winning. Unless they're playing me.
Yeah.
oh,
I honestly, I hate to be the guy, but I was hoping y'all were both going to go winless and then play each other.
Ah, hell no.
oh, no.
I
We
mean,
were going to get wins.
Yeah,
One way or another, we were going to get a win.
Hey,
We are who we thought they were.
And I always set my teams up for the last. I draft the way they're supposed to win. You know what I mean? Like I draft for the playoffs and all that type of stuff, but I still want to win. I hate losing early. You know what I mean? But I don't mind starting to win and then win my way in. You know
when
what
I started out 0-4, I was still confident. Like, man, some of these games
Yeah.
I'm tough. Hey,
Yeah, those games I lost, just like I said, a lot of my losses were because I made dumb errors. Like I should have started. I knew I should have started certain people, and I didn't. I got cute.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And certain players not.
It's tough because on any given week, a player can just break out.
Exactly.
You never know.
Yep. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Again, hopefully we can get together next week and I don't completely forget like last week. I completely forgot.
Man, mine was such a rough week at work, man. I'm glad I could peel away just to get this time in. So,
man, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me and having a good old time talking sports. It's always a good time.
absolutely.
All right, and we are out.
Peace.